Welcome back to Market Day Report. A lot of excitement here. Outside markets, this bill was passed, everything else. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the corn market, and then we'll get our next guest on. July corn, which is in the delivery period, down 3/4 penny, 4.19 3/4. Sep corn, 4.05 1/2, down 3 1/2. December corn, 4.21 1/2, down 4. Thought there was hopes of corn getting up on the day, but we'll see. We close here in another hour, see what we can do. Let's look at soybeans next. Soybeans battling that unchanged. September soybeans 10.18 1/4 unchanged. November soybeans 10.26 3/4, 10.27 unchanged. Let's head over to Chicago Board of Trade wheat. Interesting day here. Nice board there. Sep Board of Trade wheat. It's the hero of the day. 5.47 1/2, up 9 1/4. December wheat 5.67 1/2, up 7 1/2. Let's look at that all the way out there to the May 5.94 1/2. Let's look at hard red wheat here. Not keeping up with its friend in Chicago. Sep hard red wheat 5.28 1/4, up 1 1/2. December 5.51 1/2, up 1 1/2. Spring wheat. Again, folks, check in on where is spring wheat trading. Multiple places, and we could explain that to you in a little bit. Sep spring wheat 6.25 1/2, up close to 5 cents. December 6.43. Let's look at cotton. It was battling unchanged here. Cotton 67.66, down 2 cents. Let's bring in our first guest, and I think we have multiple guests. My good friend Brian Split with agmarket.net. Brian, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm great, Tommy. How's your day going, bud?
Not bad, not bad. Good to see from you. I think we have Scott on also here, but there he is. We got the trifecta box. I like that. A little cow guy sandwich.
I like
there.
that we're all tan. You guys look great. Good to see you.
Mine's from blood pressure, but that's okay.
Brian, what are you seeing after this report?
Going on, a lot of sun. But yeah, you know, this corn market was under pressure this morning. Crop conditions up 3%, and that brought in the selling. I think the buyers showed up lower because we have a forecast from the European model that looks like we could have quite a bit of dry weather as we go out to about July 10th, and that would be maybe Illinois into the eastern corn belt. But GFS midday disagrees with that a little bit. It does have some heat, but it has a little bit more precip. And they're going to trade that. I think the European model's been more accurate, but the GFS was definitely wetter than the European model. That was what caused that little midday sell-off. But you had mentioned the Senate passing President Trump's tax and spending bill. I haven't seen anything as far as any talk about any departure from what was discussed about 45Z. So I think that's why we've got the soybean oil market trading higher. Soybeans went and revisited the lows that were scored last month on new crop. We held yet again. That is right back down at the same area that we made contract lows last August on this contract. So should be a good area of support here for the short term, especially if we're going to have some optimism on biofuels.
Yeah, Scott, what are you talking to people about your ag friends?
Well, we're just looking for what would be the next decent thing that's going to spur the market higher. Really, that's really what we're worried about. Look, everybody was hanging their hat on maybe the stocks and acreage report. Didn't happen. Now we're looking towards WASDE, but it's probably going to have to be Mother Nature and maybe a little bit of short covering coming in there. But we're getting low enough now that if we do have something that gives us a little bit of a bump higher, we could benefit from it. So right now, it's just what's going to spur the market higher.
Perfect. You two stay right there. We're going to go on a commercial break. Then we're going to come back and talk cattle with more Market Day Report. Welcome back to Market Day Report. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right in these cattle quotes so we can get back to our two excellent guests. Live cattle here. As we start to wrap the day, August live cattle, 211.55, down 232. 208.32, down 185. These cattle, 208.75, down 190. Feeders, they call them the leaders. We had an impressive day on Friday and a big day on Monday, giving some of that back with the USDA news. August, 306.97, down 370. Sep feeders, 306.82, down 380. Let's look at lean hogs. They've had a lot of volatility, and some would say we're in a pretty good bull market here in hogs. July hogs, 109.02, down $1. In August, 107.57.5. Let's bring in both these fine guests, Mr. BJ Split with agmarket.net and Mr. Cow Guy himself, who has a 12:30 show. What are you talking to people in meats, Brian?
You know, I think this hog market's in trouble. We had a tremendous rally since April, and the hog market oftentimes likes to have V bottoms and V tops. The trend changes and then it just goes in that other direction. And we took out the long-term uptrend. So this August, lean hog contract, I think has quite a bit of downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we went into the mid to upper 90s in August. A week ago, I was really just saying, hey guys, this market's had a tremendous run. If you could put a floor in at 110 on July and August, it's probably a prudent thing to do with some options. As far as cattle goes, we're going to have a staged reopening of the border that has the feeder cattle market under pressure, although off the lows. We've got the live cattle open quite a bit lower this morning. We're coming off the lows there as well. But, that June contract expired. And we saw some really tremendous cash prices trade while that contract was the lead month. But I think 220 is going to be an interesting watermark on the August contract moving forward.
Yeah, and we have this 4th of July holiday. Scotty, we're going to, our last day of trade is Thursday. We're going to have no trade Thursday night, close Friday, Saturday, Sunday, geopolitics. We can come back to a different market. Is that correct on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, anytime markets aren't open and we can't trade, there's a little bit of a buildup of tension. And to add to Brian's point, yeah, I mean, there was an interesting thing that we were talking about on the radio show and on my show about whether or not we're going to get convergence in that cattle market. We finally saw a little bit of a flurry there, and it looks as though that things kind of held together, and we did finally get there. But at the end of the day, and there's not a ton out there that's going to really change the direction of this. Yeah, we have some down days like we are today, but I don't see anything right now that's going to change my view of what this cattle market's going to do. It's still lofty, so we do have some big moves. However, we're at expensive prices, so sometimes that's warranted. So I still think that nothing really has changed significantly in my mind going forward, and I agree that you should probably take a little bit of concern with the hog market, like Brian said.
Yeah, Brian, agmarket.net. Wild, real quick, we got 10 seconds and out, but the fact that that report came out from the USDA and you could buy LRP, I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we'll look at here moving forward. I don't know what to say about that in 10 seconds, so thanks for setting me up for that one, Tommy.
Yeah, just smile and say I love you. See you, brother. Brian Split, agmarket.net. Scott, the cow guy, it's harder to say I love you to him, and I hand it over to lovely Suzanne,
it's
who's easy to love.
He's got a good smile, so that's important. Thank you, Tommy.